जय राधा माधव कुंद बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज यमुना तीरवनचारी। यमुना जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। Shishi Bonitai ki we have here these beautiful presentations which are not made by me. They are available online, so I just borrow the hard work of other devotees. But the theories of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna's pastimes in particular is very, very important in this month. And not only during this month, but all throughout the year we should do that. But in this month especially, we should intensify our hearing and chanting. So thank you for the temple management for giving me this opportunity to, at least for the last couple of days, I could focus on hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So with your permission and blessings, I seek blessings of each one of you to read few words from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshur-Militam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha Mutam Karoti Vacham Dhanti Yat-Kripatamaham Vande Shri-Ramanandamahanam Shri Chaitanyam Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Ramahyam Dati Swapadantikam Namaho Vishnupadaya Krishna Prithaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvesha Shunyavadi Paschakireshakari Vansha Kalpatarubhascha Kipasindhutevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Just Brahmaji kidnapping the calves. Something about Bhishma Panchak that's coming up starting from Tuesday. What we can accomplish, but we narrate these pastimes in brief and speak a few words with your permission and blessings. Thank you. So as we see here, one day Krishna decided to go to forest early with his calves. So he, as soon as he woke up, got ready and blew his buffalo horn and called upon all his friends. So this day, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that this is the day of Balramji's birthday, and Mother Rohini kept Balramji home. He bathed him, get him dressed, and he kept him home. And Krishna took his friends in the forest by himself. And there were thousands upon thousands of Krishna's friends, and each friend had thousands and thousands of calves. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the word is mentioned asankhya. And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says that asankhya means that there are 17 zeros after 1. So that many number of calves were there. And one may think that how is this possible? That the 32 square mile area of Vrindavan, Braj, how could it contain that many number of calves? But Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta, Hari is unlimited. So because the Lord is unlimited, the Lord's Dham is also unlimited. And because the Lord's Dham is unlimited, it can contain unlimited number of calves, unlimited number of devotees in that Dham. So that's how we can understand this. Lord had unlimited number of calves, and they were all very attentive in tending to their own calves, and took that procession in the forest of Vrindavan. So in the forest of Vrindavan, this was the real fun time for the Krishna and cowherd boys. The fun activities that mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam is what not using their cell phones and iPads. So Krishna and the cowherd boys, they had real fun time. That's what we are meant to experience. That boys, they were already very nicely decorated, very nicely ornamented by their mothers. But on top of that, they picked up glass, they picked up flowers, twigs, different soft minerals, and on the way, and they decorated themselves and each other in the forest. While playing with each other, one cowherd boy would snatch another boy's lunch bag and then toss it to a third boy. And when the boy would find out that his lunch bag is missing, he would try to run after it, and they keep on tossing it to one another, and that would just perpetuate. And the boy whose lunch is stolen would eventually start crying, and the boys would laugh at the boy who's crying and finally return his lunch bag. Same way, this is ongoing pastimes of having fun. The boys would imitate the sounds of peacocks and cuckoos and frogs. The boys would twist the tails of little monkeys. They would show their teeth to the monkeys. The monkeys would show their teeth back, and then they would they would jump on the branches of the tree and follow the monkeys, and imitating the frogs. They would jump, and then when the frogs get scared, they would jump in the pool of water, the boys would jump after them. The real fun time is experienced in the spiritual world. And so here in the line of this presentation, it says enjoyment is there in the spiritual world also. But actually it should read, enjoyment is actually in the spiritual world. What we experience here is temporary cessation of misery. We have fun time for a little while, but that fun time is basically we are not experiencing any misery. So boys are having real fun time. Krishna would say, these peacocks, they don't know how to dance. Let me show you how to dance. And Krishna would dance. And the boys would be like, wow, you're dancing so wonderfully. They would play musical instruments to accompany Krishna's dancing. This is how Krishna and the cowherd boys would pass every day with real fun activities. And there would be nobody to but all the fun activities. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a very beautiful point that Shukadeva Goswami mentions. In the 12th chapter of 10th canto, text number 11, Shukadeva Goswami says that, in this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of the Brahman effulgence for Gyanis desiring to merge into the effulgence, who is the supreme personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship, and who, for ordinary person, is but another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the results of pious activities for many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their good fortune? So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is in a lot of details and says that there are three types of people in this world, and the people are Gyanis, Karmis, and Bhaktas. So Gyanis, they are interested in knowledge and about the Lord. So Krishna is the source of their knowledge, and because of their aspiration to know Krishna, they are actually worshipping Krishna. So they don't have any scope of playing with Krishna. The Karmis, they are those who have accepted servitorship to the Lord. They are serving the Lord in a lot of reverence. So they don't dare play with Krishna. But here the boys of Vrindavan, they are considering Krishna not as the Lord, but as their friend. They are in intense love with the Lord in friendship. So with that mood of friendship, they are so intimately connected that they would wrestle with Krishna. They would climb on his shoulder and then they would tell Krishna, you are not strong, let me show you how strong I am. So that kind of friendship, that kind of intimacy is possible only with pure love. And the love that they have is not a result of any pious activity or the piety that is explained here. The Sanskrit word is Krita Punya Punja. Krita Punya Punja, the punya, the piety that is explained here is not just any material piety like giving charities or building hospitals or whatnot. But the piety here explained is the devotional service, the pure devotional service as explained by Sri Rupa Goswami, that favorable, loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And for many, many lifetimes, these cowherd boys have gone through that, and then they have accumulated so much pious activity that they are face to face with the Lord. As we heard Sharakuntu explain very beautifully, that Satyavrat Muni was aspiring to have Krishna's darshan face to face. So the boys are having Krishna face to face. They are with him, playing with him. So the fortune of the great fortune these cowherd boys have, or the Vrajavasis have, to have Krishna as their intimate friend, child, lover, is just unimaginable. So this is so important. And then, just like in every scene of fun, every action of when this fun is on the peak, there is a twist. And the twist here is Adhasura arrives. So Adhasura Who is Aghasura? Aghasura is this brother of Putana and Bakasura. So Krishna has killed Putana when he was 6 days old, and Bakasura was recently killed. So Aghasura was instigated Kamsa. He was sent to Krishna. And when Aghasura came by the arrangement of Yogamaya, he was sent directly in where Krishna and the boys were having this beautiful fun time. And Aghasura was completely burned up by envy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains Aghasura represents cruelty and envy. All the demons that were killed by Krishna in Vrindavan are all compared with anarthas. So cruelty and envy is represented by Aghasura. And Aghasura, the cruelty can also be understood as not giving Krishna consciousness to others. That is also keeping Krishna consciousness to ourselves and not giving it to others is also being cruel to others. So we have to really, by hearing Krishna Katha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says all these anarthas are removed from our heart. So we hope that this kind of anarthas also come out of us, and then we become actually compassionate, actually, show kindness and bring everyone to Krishna consciousness. So Aghasura was very much envious and burned inside with rage. He was very angry that how this Krishna and the boys are having so much fun. I must do something, I must kill them. I must kill them all. And he started thinking that if I kill Krishna and the coward boys, then not only the boys will be killed, but the whole of Vraj, whole of Vrindavan will be killed, because the parents, the children are life and soul. If the children, something happens to our children, we become very, very perturbed. So with same kind of mindset, Aghasura thought I'm going to kill them all, and that way once and for all we'll be able to do the Shraddha Tarpan to my brother and my sister, and for the departed souls I will be able to offer obeisances. So that kind of mindset, Aghasura started to expand himself. He expanded himself to be an 8-mile long python and he opened up his mouth. He opened up his mouth so wide that his upper lip was touching the sky. The lower lip was was huge and touching the ground. The shadow of the low, the description is so amazing that Aghasura's wide open mouth became like a mountain cave, and the tongue that came out of his mouth was like a big highway leading to the cave. So the boys who saw that was like, oh, we've never seen this cave here before. Is this something new, or is this been here before? And the other boy said, no, this is not a cave, beware. This might be a serpent opening up a big mouth. He's a demon who's trying to kill us all. So boys actually knew that this was a ploy of a demon. But still, their faith in Krishna was so great that they didn't care. They thought okay, even if it's a snake, even if it's a demon who's trying to kill us all, Krishna is there, he will protect us. There is nothing to worry. Let us go in. And thinking like that, they just marched in, singing and dancing and clapping hands, and all the cows followed him. And here Krishna, on the other hand, was thinking that they are trying to explore a new cave, but they don't know this is a demon Aghasura, and I must stop them. But Krishna before Krishna even could stop them, they all rushed into Aghasura's mouth and went inside. But Aghasura was so clever, he didn't close his mouth yet. He wanted Krishna to enter in Aghasura's mouth, in his mouth. So Krishna was thinking, how do I save my friends now? They have all entered inside Aghasura's mouth, and they will all be like, if I kill the demon, how will I bring my friends out? And if I don't kill the demon, what will happen to them inside? So thinking like this, he was kind of acting like he was confused. And Krishna kept thinking like that, and then finally he decided to enter Aghasura's mouth. When Krishna entered Aghasura's mouth, Aghasura finally closed his mouth. And then, as you know, how the python kills its prey after swallowing, right? After swallowing its prey, python has to twist and turn to crush them inside. So Krishna was, and when Aghasura closed his mouth, all the devatas in the sky who were watching this happen, they started panicking. They started saying, "Oh, alas, alas! What happened? Krishna went inside Aghasura's mouth. Now what will happen?" They became very, very scared. But then, it's explained that Aghasura was such a fierce demon that even though the devatas who drink nectar, they were hoping that he would be killed soon, because they were not safe for their life. Aghasura was so fierce a demon. But then the cowherd boys had no fear of Aghasura. They just went in with no problem, no fear of Aghasura. So Krishna entered inside his mouth, and then when Aghasura was trying to twist, Krishna started expanding himself. So here Acharya explained that when Krishna killed other demons, Krishna didn't change his form. And even while Mother Yashoda was tying Krishna with mortar, he didn't change his form. He remained as a little baby to attract the affection of his devotees. But here, the parents are not there, and the cowherd boys, they are all unconscious inside Aghasura's belly. So they are, Krishna decided to expand himself. And he expanded himself so big that Aghasura's life air started choking. He started choking. And because he couldn't breathe anymore, and his air couldn't go anywhere, it finally burst open from his head, and Aghasura was killed. So Aghasura was killed, and the soul from Aghasura's body came out. But Krishna danced upon his friends and cowherd boys and calves, and they all became alive again. And Krishna brought them all out. And the soul from Aghasura's body merged into Krishna's body. So here Acharya is explained that can anyone guess what kind of mukti Aghasura got? Sayukji, right? I also thought like that because he merged into Krishna's body. But Acharya has explained that it's a sarupya mukti, that mukti of the same form as the Lord. And why is it a sarupya mukti? Because in the later verses we will see that Aghasura attained the form like Vishnu form and went into Vaikuntha. That's what the Acharyas explained. Even though he merged, like Shishupal and Dantavakra also, when Krishna killed them, their soul also merged into Krishna. But eventually they attained their form in Vaikuntha as Jai and Vijay. Right? So that's how Acharyas explained. And so this mukti, which most people are after, they want to become liberated, they want to stop their repeated cycle of birth and death and merge into the Brahman. This mukti is not very highly looked upon by the devotees. Bilumangal Thakur has composed a beautiful prayer. If you want, you can repeat after me. Bhakti svaish sthirtara bhagavan yadi syad. Bhakti svaish sthirtara bhagavan yadi syad. Deivena na bhavati divya. Deivena na bhavati divya murti. Mukti swayam mukulitanjali sevate smam. Mukti swayam mukulitanjali sevate smam. Dharmartha kamadaya samaya pratiksha. Dharmartha kamadaya samaya pratiksha. The Thakur is saying that if one has steady devotional service, bhakti tvai sthiratara bhagavan yadisya. If we have bhakti towards the Lord, which is steady, sthiratara, if one has a steady devotional service, then what happens? Daivena na phalati divya kishora murti. The Lord's form will come to our vision automatically without our extra, by its own effort. Because of steady devotional service, the Lord's form will come into our mind automatically. And Mukti Tanjali Sevate Asman. The Mukti will be standing at your doorstep with folded hand and ask, what can I do for you? Dharmartha Kama Tataya Samaya Pratiksha. And the benefits of doing Dharma, Artha, Kama, they will all be just like, you just don't have to make any separate endeavor for them, they will be automatically achieved. So this mukti that yogis endeavor so much after, jnanis do so much of lifetimes of tapasya to get mukti. That mukti is attained by devotees as a side effect. We don't even really work for it. So this is a very important aspect. And then once Aghasura was killed, Shukdev Goswami says that this story of Aghasura was told by the cowherd boys a year later to their mothers. So Raj Parikshit says that why did that happen? Maharaj Parikshit was an expert listener. His listening was so much wrapped with attention that every word that was spoken by Shukdev Goswami was captured by Maharaj Parikshit. And Maharaj Parikshit said, you're saying that when Krishna was 5 years old, he killed Aghasura, but that news was told by cowherd boys to their mother 1 year later. And so what happened? What happened between this 1 year? Why nobody told? And how they narrated that story was that it happened just now. Yesterday it happened, or it happened that day. So how did the boys express something that happened in the past as happening in the present? So he says, you are very wonderful. You have been listening to Krishna Katha from your childhood, and you've been listening to Krishna Katha non-stop almost 6 days now, right? This is 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaj Parikshit had 7 to live. So, and he has been listening continuously without eating or sleeping or drinking. And here we are. It might be my speaking, but many of us are not even able to keep ourselves up. So, for half an hour. And Maharaj Parikshit was so wrapped in attention that he could catch that, okay, there is a delay in 1 year. So what happened? And he's curious to know. So Maharaj Parikshit asked Shukdev Goswami why there is a delay of 1 year. So then Shukdev Goswami starts to narrate what happens after Aghasura is killed. So after Aghasura is killed, they all come to Krishna takes his friends to the bank of Yamuna, where they find a beautiful pasture where they could sit down and have lunch. So Krishna and the boys decided to have their lunch while the cows are grazing at the bank of River Yamuna. And there's a very nice scenic picnic spot, and then it's way past their lunchtime, so they decided to sit down and have a lunch. So this beautiful painting depicts how Krishna was sitting as center of the lotus, and all the boys were sitting concentric circles, having Krishna in the center. And Krishna was just, but just like in Ras Leela, when Krishna is dancing with the gopis, each gopi was feeling that Krishna is with me. Here the boys are also having the same feeling. Krishna is looking at me, Krishna is right with me. So that is the beautiful mystical potency of Krishna. And all the devatas who were showering flowers and who were saying Jai Jai after the killing of Adhasura, they were also watching this beautiful picture of Krishna. Brahmaji is watching cowherd boys eating, and the cowherd boys were feeding Krishna. Just like, the boys when they eat, sometimes, like, the one boy would take a rasgulla and bite and say, "Oh, my mother eats such a beautiful rasgulla, why don't you eat Krishna?" So after taking a bite of that rasgulla, half of the rasgulla that is eaten, he would feed it to Krishna. Here we have to feed Krishna, we have to do so much, right? Like in every bath, we have to say so many mantras, prepare proper offering, and the whole process is there. And here the boys are exchanging so much intimate love that what is eaten is fed to Krishna right away. And so the devatas, they become confused. Is this really Supreme Lord? Supreme Lord is considered Yajna Bhuk. He is the one who only eats from what is offered in the Yajna. How is he eating from like jutha, as we say in Hindi? Why is he eating what is eaten by his friends? And that with the left hand? What is going on? Krishna is eating dahi bhat, yogurt rice with fruits in his left hand. And all the boys are like having such a great time. But the devatas, they don't like this. They cannot handle this. They cannot accept this as the Supreme Lord. The form of the Lord who is so charming, who is so loving, he doesn't care for his rules and regulations. He just wants loving, intimate relationship. And the boys are in the time of their life. But at the same time, the calves have gone deep, too far deep in the forest, in the sort of green grass. So, those beautiful explanations are there, but we just skip through this. And then Brahmaji had come down and bowed down to the Lord after killing of Adhasura. He's now confused. He's saying that, this cannot be the Supreme Lord. I must test him. I must test him. So the test that Brahmaji has, all the calves that were astray in the forest. Krishna, the boys who are eating their lunch, they see that the calves are gone. So Brahmaji, they see, oh, our calves are gone. And Krishna says, don't worry, boys. You continue your lunch, I'll go search for calves. So Krishna goes and does a personal search. So I explained that, Natasya Karyam Karanam, the Supreme Lord is someone who doesn't have anything to do or nothing to achieve. But that Supreme Lord becomes active and runs after searching for their calves because of the love that he has for his friends. And Krishna goes into the mountain holes, forest caves and bushes to look for the cows, but he's not finding anywhere. After that, he comes back, and when he comes back to the same spot, the boys are also gone. So now everybody is gone. So then Krishna acts being confused for a little bit again. He knows what is happening, but because maybe Brahmaji is just leaving the place, and he wants Brahmaji to believe that he's confused and he's worried that calves and the cow boys are gone. So he acts like that for a little while, bewildered, as if, how do I get them back? And Brahmaji goes away with the calves and the cowherd boys, and then Krishna starts to perform his magnificent pastimes. So Krishna now starts to expand himself to as many forms of calves, as many cowherd boys that were with him. We had heard about unlimited number of calves and unlimited number of boys. So Krishna expanded himself, and each expansion was exactly like how it was before. And the calves were exactly of the same color and same size and everything. The boys also had the same propensities, same mannerism. Everything was exactly the same as they were before. And then Krishna enters into Vrindavan. Krishna comes back with all the calves and the cowherd boys and enters in Vrindavan. The calves enter into the cow sheds, and the boys enter their homes. And then, but one thing that is different now is that people of Vrindavan, they had natural affection for Krishna, and their love for Krishna was more than their own children. So now, all the children and all the calves were having the same amount of affection from their parents as they had for Krishna. So that goes on, and then all Krishna actually had understood the desire of the mothers. When Mother Yashoda used to dress Krishna, when Mother Yashoda used to bathe Krishna, they all the elderly gopis would think that, oh wow, how wonderful is Mother Yashoda, that she's taking such beautiful care of Krishna. And so Krishna had thought that, and all the elderly gopis had that desire that, okay, we want to also serve Krishna in some way like that. So Krishna had understood that desire of the elderly gopis, and then he had manifested this pastime so that he could become their children and allow them to serve him like this. So His Grace Gauranga Prabhu explained that, when we are envious of other devotees' service, or when we try to usurp their service, Krishna becomes very displeased with us. But when we are appreciative of other devotees, and when we are appreciative of how wonderfully they are serving, then Krishna gives us an opportunity to serve him in that capacity someday. So like that, Krishna allowed all these cows and the elderly gopis to take care of him for 1 full year, almost a full year. And then we will not go into Lord Brahma's lifespan and all that, but when the year was about to be done, one moment of Lord Brahma was about to be done. One day, cows went near Govardhan Hill, where the cows were grazing on top of the hill. So when the cows saw their calves coming nearby, their affection became so intense that they just started running down the hill. And the cowherd men who were taking care of the cows could not even contain them. And the cows normally tried to find the path of least resistance. But this time, they ran through sharp bushes and stones and pebbles, but they just kept running down without any as if they wanted something so badly. So they just ran down, and the cowherd men first also felt very ashamed. They felt embarrassed that they couldn't take care of the cows, and they ran away from them. And but then they saw their children, and the love for the children came into their heart, and they also felt very they started hugging their children and lifting them up and started bathing them with their tears. They became very, very joyful. So this scene was seen by Balramji, and Balramji found out that, okay, there is something going on here. I was noticing that all the mothers are loving their children as much as they love Krishna, but here there is something special going on. The calves are feeding the older calves that are 1 year older than the newborn calves. The newborn calves are also along with their older siblings, but the cows are feeding the older calves first, and then they are not even looking at their younger calves. So Balramji suspects that there is something going on here. The calves are actually Krishna, and the boys are also Krishna. Like that, then he asks Krishna, what is going on here? Can you please explain? So then Krishna explains the whole story, what happens. And then Brahmaji comes and, Brahmaji comes and then he's also confused as to who is who, what is real. And then all the calves and all the cowherd boys, they turn into 4 Vishnu forms, and then Brahmaji completely becomes mystified. He wanted to test Krishna by his mystic potency, and had taken away the calves and the cowherd boys, but now he is completely bewildered that which set of calves and cowherd boys are real. And then finally, that when he sees the Vishnu forms, he just completely becomes dizzy, and with all his four heads spinning, it becomes overwhelming for him. So Brahmaji then falls down at the feet of the Lord, and Krishna, all the Vishnu forms go back in Krishna just as they had expanded from Krishna, and then Brahmaji offers his beautiful prayers. So this is beautiful pastimes of Krishna stealing Krishna and the cowherd boys, and Brahmaji stealing calves and the cowherd boys. So this one thing we can see that Brahmaji was also Brahmaji had that kind of thought about Krishna not being Supreme Lord. So Brahma is Krishna's son. So when our son gets wrong thought, it's the duty of the father to correct it. So Krishna purified Lord Brahma's mentality by performing this wonderful pastime, and then Brahmaji offered beautiful prayers. So I will stop here, and Bhishma Panchak is coming up. So the story of Bhishma Panchak is that Lord Bhishma Dev, who is one of the Vasus, he was very dear to Lord Krishna, and he had performed this vrata. The Vishnu Panchak is the last 5 days of Kartik, and the benefit of Chaturmasya Vrat or the Kartik month Vrat, we are trying to follow that with whatever diligence and efforts that we can. But then if we made some mistakes here and there, then these 5 days are given to us to rectify those and intensify our as if running a last lap of the race. We give all our efforts and push ourselves one last time to perform some more intense devotional service for last 5 days of Kartik. And there are procedures given in the Shastra to follow Panchadavya, which is cow dung, cow urine, milk, yogurt, and mixture of all 5 of them. So each day you would eat one of them, but that's level 1. If you can't do that, then level 2 is to eat some fruits or roots. The fruits, but when you are eating roots and fruits, not to take milk, and then to basically try to eat once a day in the evening after sunset. So the rules and regulations are given. It's different types of flowers to be offered on each day, Krishna, and things like that. So online resources are available for online work. Thank you so much for your attention. So, anyone has any question? Yes, ma'am.
So if it starts on Tuesday and it's for 5 days.
Yeah, this year it's only for 4 days. Yeah, because some reasons that I can't really explain, but there's only 4 days. Yeah. It starts from Tuesday, Ekashi Devi, and then Purnima is on Friday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. Be lucky if you don't have to be fasting 5 days. Kartik bonus, yes. When yes. The other one is more merciful. Yes, anybody else? Rajshri Bhagavatam ki. Yes, Lord.
Comparing Parasura and Kalila. So Parasura
Right, I mean, I think Kalia represents the same also. Cruelty and envy, yes, more envy. Shubho Nitai ji, Jai Shri Ram Harinam Ananda, Jai Shri HG
Let's thank His Grace Harinam Ananda Prabhu for sharing wonderful Krishna Leela in this